When you need a break from all the wineries, I definitely recommend Omaka Aviation Heritage Center. Just minutes from Blenheim, it houses a display like no other, and you don't have to be an aviation buff to enjoy this truly world-class exhibit. So Jane, thank you so much for having me at the Omaka Museum today. It's actually quite an amazing experience when you walk straight in the doors.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I'm so pleased you could come and that you enjoyed it. Your reaction is just like everybody's that comes through the door. They usually come out of the sunlight, open the doors into semi-darkness, because it is very dark in here, and the aircraft is spotlit. So the first reaction is they stop in the doorway and go, wow, I had no idea.
So how did Omaka and everything you brought in here come about?
Well, there's a group of aviation enthusiasts who are based here at Omaka. This is quite an historic aerodrome. It's a big square grass paddock, and there are very few of those left in the world. It dates back to about 1928, and so it's attracted a lot of enthusiasts who like old aeroplanes. And more people were coming and saying, would you open up your hangar, or can you show me this or that? And so these people got together and said, look, let's create a public facility where everybody can share in our passion. It took us 10 years to raise the money for this, but we needed a heck of a lot to do it, and it's been absolutely fabulous.
So Jane, personally for me, I didn't know very much about aviation when I walked in, so my interest level wasn't, that high, but when I walked in, can't help but to not be marveled by the situation, because there's just so much story involved in them, and there's so much history involved in them, and the fact that he has some of the artifacts that were originally from, those times that kind of explain everything, it makes it just so different than anything I've ever seen.
That, I think, is the essence of why this is so appealing to people, and why it is so different to so many other museums. You could have just an artifact or an aircraft on its own, but if you don't have the story that surrounded it, you haven't given it any historical context. It's the human stories that make the difference.
So, Jane, it's to my understanding that people from the film industry actually came in here and created these beautiful scenes, and that's why the reenactments look so realistic.
We had some of the best designers in the world, Weta Workshop and Wingnut Films. They did an incredible job, and it's thanks to Peter Jackson and bringing those people on board for us. We could never have afforded something like that on our own, but what that's done has raised the displays here at Omaka to a level that is the best in the world.
Yeah. So Jane, how lucky do you think Marlborough is to have a museum quite like this?
It's a wonderful asset for Marlborough, for bringing tourists here and keeping them here a bit longer is what we want, because there's so much to see in Marlborough. But we're just a little bit different. There's the wineries and so on, but coming to a place like this is not what you'd expect to find in a small town anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Some of these displays are you'd expect to see in the Smithsonian or in the London Museum, and we've got them in Blenheim, New Zealand.
Omaka is one of Marlborough's must-see visitor attractions. I love how it's been put together. It is the kind of place that all ages will enjoy, and Marlborough is lucky to be home to this treasure of a place. You have to visit.